Climate change is a well-known topic, popularized by figures like Greta Thunberg and David Attenborough, who have raised awareness about its impact. The issue of melting ice caps and raging wildfires in Australia has captured global attention, and the vast majority of scientists agree that human activities are significantly altering the climate. While it may seem that the concept of greenhouse gases and their effects on the climate emerged relatively recently, the reality is that our understanding of this phenomenon dates back over 200 years. As a humanities-oriented person and not a scientist, I will simplify the scientific explanations in this video to the best of my understanding. Should there be any mistakes, I welcome corrections in the comments, which I will address accordingly. Greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide emitted from burning fossil fuels like coal and oil, play a major role in climate change. When solar radiation from the sun reaches the Earth, it can easily pass through the gases in our atmosphere. The Earth absorbs this energy, heating up, and then emits thermal radiation or heat. However, certain gases in the atmosphere absorb this heat, causing some of it to be redirected back to Earth, effectively creating a greenhouse-like barrier that traps heat. The more greenhouse gases present, the more heat gets trapped, leading to global warming. The levels of carbon dioxide have risen over 30% since the Industrial Revolution, exacerbated by deforestation that removes carbon-absorbing forests. But, rather than succumbing to existential dread, let's explore how early scientists theorized the greenhouse effect. One of the first to theorize about the greenhouse effect was Joseph Fourier, a Frenchman in the early 19th century. While trying to explain why the Earth wasn't a frozen wasteland despite receiving significant solar energy, he speculated that certain gases in the atmosphere were trapping the sun's heat. Although he never used the term greenhouse effect and didn't conduct experiments to verify his hypothesis, his work laid the groundwork for future studies. A significant contribution came from Eunice Newton Foote, an American woman who faced adversity in a male-dominated scientific community. Despite limited opportunities for women to pursue scientific education, Foote conducted her own experiments to understand how gases interacted with sunlight. Her tests with various gases, including water vapor and CO2, revealed that CO2 was indeed a greenhouse gas, capable of trapping heat in the atmosphere. She even hypothesized that altering CO2 levels could impact the Earth's temperature, a groundbreaking idea that laid the foundation for modern climate science. Sadly, Foote's work went unnoticed, and she became a footnote in climate history. However, her contributions are now recognized, highlighting the importance of giving credit to underrepresented voices and the early pioneers in climate research. In conclusion, our understanding of climate change and greenhouse gases dates back to the 19th century, with early scientists like Fourier and Foote making significant contributions. Today, as we continue to address the challenges of climate change, it is essential to acknowledge the historical roots of this research and recognize the diverse voices that have contributed to our knowledge. In the realm of greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect, the credit for its discovery is often attributed to John Tyndall, an Irish scientist. During the Victorian era, Tyndall was deeply intrigued by the Ice Age theory, which sought to explain the presence of ice in various regions of the Earth's past. This discovery had sparked curiosity among scientists, who were eager to decipher the causes behind these ice ages. Tyndall, along with other scientists like Fourier and Foote, proposed that changes in the atmosphere could significantly impact the Earth's temperature. To investigate whether gases had the ability to trap heat, Tyndall designed an experiment using a unique contraption. This apparatus allowed heat to pass through a tube filled with the gas under examination, and the heat levels were then compared against the control cone. By measuring the heat absorbed by the gas, Tyndall found that water vapor and CO2, among other gases, were the primary heat absorbers. Notably, CO2 demonstrated an impressive capacity to trap heat, almost 1,000 times more than common air. His experiment aligned with Foote's previous findings, but Tyndall's experiment was more comprehensive and accurate, owing to his advanced scientific education. Consequently, Tyndall's work had a profound impact on the field of climate science. However, Eunice's significant contribution wasn't merely her experiment, it was her hypothesis that changes in the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere could affect the planet's temperature. She appears to be the first person to think of this idea, dating back 150 years ago, before the American Civil War. If Eunice had access to the same resources as Tyndall, her accomplishments might have been even more remarkable. Another important figure in the development of climate change understanding was Swedish physicist Svante Thunberg Arrhenius in 1896. He created the first climate change model, predicting that human industrial activities could drastically impact the climate. It's interesting to note that Svante Thunberg Arrhenius is related to Greta Thunberg's father, making climate awareness somewhat of a family legacy. Arrhenius was also intrigued by the Ice Age's debate, and he appreciated Tyndall's idea that changes in the atmosphere, such as reduced CO2 levels, could have caused these geological periods. Leveraging information from fellow scientist Arvid Hogbaum about historical CO2 levels, Arrhenius embarked on extensive manual calculations to determine how heat would be trapped if CO2 levels changed. He discovered that having the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere could lower Europe's temperature to Ice Age levels. Conversely, doubling the CO2 levels would raise global temperatures by 5 to 6 degrees Celsius, potentially leading to global warming. Surprisingly, despite his groundbreaking predictions, Arrhenius didn't foresee climate change as a pressing issue. He believed such changes would occur over thousands of years. However, with CO2 levels rising rapidly in just a century, our world is now confronting the harsh realities of climate change. While these early scientists laid the groundwork for our understanding of climate change, the negative consequences and far-reaching implications weren't evident to them. The possibility of mass extinctions, negative feedback loops, environmental collapse, and distressing documentaries like those narrated by David Attenborough were unimaginable to them. Despite the ancient predictions, climate change seemingly became a prominent issue suddenly, with alarming headlines, global protests, and panic tweets dominating the conversation. Yet, in truth, the science predicting climate change has been around for quite some time, and our failure to pay attention to it has led to the current crisis. Paying attention to the world and understanding various subjects is essential, and this educational channel aims to provide valuable insights. The channel's recent focus has been on David Attenborough's documentaries, particularly David Attenborough's Light on Earth, which beautifully showcases nature as a stunning light show. CuriosityStream, a documentary streaming service, provides access to thousands of high-quality documentaries, including those featuring David Attenborough and Stephen Hawking, as well as exclusive originals. By signing up for CuriosityStream using the provided link, viewers can enjoy unlimited access and support independent creators like Cogito, who contribute to Nebula, an ad-free streaming platform. In conclusion, the history of climate change prediction stretches back centuries, with early scientists like John Tyndall, Eunice Newton-Foote, and Svante Thunberg Arrhenius making groundbreaking discoveries. Their work set the stage for our current understanding of climate change, though they couldn't have foreseen the alarming effects it would have on our planet. It's crucial to recognize the importance of their contributions and remain attentive to the challenges posed by climate change.